Artists definitely are some of a kind. As creative people, we strive to constantly improve our skills so we can wholeheartedly strive to perfect the execution of our creative visions. On that journey of improvement, we seek out the help of others to benefit from their experiences, and we tend to come across about a few similar advices for quick and effective results in learning how to become better at the art we perform. There is one advice, however, we artists all have heard at some point, and most of us even already were on their way to try that said advice for themselves. Let's talk about the false advice of drawing every day for improvement. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hawkblood or Laura, and I hope you all are doing okay. Just draw every day is a quote that I believe we all heard at some point. Whether it was an advice we've been told by family or friends or other people, or we got wind of it over social media that drawing every day is supposed to be an efficient way to improve your art skills quickly. Let's be real, we all came across it one day, and some of us even tried to actually follow along that tip, whether it was initiated by oneself or with the spark of some additional sources of inspiration, such as Inktober or Mermaid, for example. I personally am not really a big fan of the draw every day thing due to multiple reasons. Sure, it does have the right to be seen as a great tip. By drawing every day, you will receive a routine in drawing. You can get your body and mind used to the movements and thinking process that is used while creating art. Things will start to appear easier for you because you are getting used to it more and more. Creating a habit for practicing art isn't all too wrong. That eventually is the core of improvement and development. Only with somewhat consistent practice you can improve long term. Drawing every day can indeed be very beneficial. However, I do believe that the practice of drawing every day for improvement isn't up to date anymore, if you can say that. Sure, it definitely might work for some in a beneficial way, but I am convinced that drawing every day can actually do much more harm to you and your art than it can provide an actual way to learn. After my observation, the draw every day advice boomed during the COVID pandemic, which is more than reasonable. The majority of us were stuck at home with lots and lots of time on hand. Obviously, that circumstance allowed for a quick improvement because we had the possibility to just draw every day. I was able to work on my art during that time daily as well. The improvement I was able to achieve during that time, and heck, if you compare my art from before and after COVID, it's a big jump. That was definitely also because I drew every day. However, the COVID pandemic is over in social regards, and it feels like the world became even faster and out to rush. Everything feels like it's moving even quicker than before COVID. We aren't locked into a house anymore, and readapting to a busy lifestyle and hustle culture after 3 years of living under conditions that guaranteed more free time for the most of us is hard. Working a 9-to-5 job already feasts on enough time already. Living alone adds a lot of tasks that have to be done additionally, so they are also taking up time. As a student, you may need to actively study for exams or have to work on other tasks with deadlines. The time you have left to create art now became very sparse. And now? Add potential children to the mix. How are you supposed to still be able to do art in your free time? How are you supposed to draw every darn day? Seriously, how are you supposed to practice art daily if you don't cut short on a healthy sleep? We are simply not living in a reality anymore where everyone can easily follow a daily practice activity, especially if that is part of a hobby. Not only is time a question we have to ask in regards of if drawing every day as a way to practice is convenient, we also have to ask ourselves if this way to train something is actually beneficial. As said before, I do believe believe that creating a habit isn't wrong at all, and drawing daily definitely does work for some people. But after my own experience, quote-unquote pushing yourself to do daily art practice leads more often to either the loss of fun towards creating art or a straight-up artistic burnout. And if you think about it more thoroughly, training your artistic skill like that isn't the best idea either. As I talked about in previous videos, your brain works like a muscle. If you train it regularly at doing art, it will become stronger and better at it. If you stop training it and doing the task you trained for, eventually your skills will decrease. However, they can be built up quicker because you already learned how to do it once. Muscle memory and shit like that. However, if you overdo your training, you might fall into the cycle of overtraining. Every time you are training or learning something new, your body has a certain recovery time that it needs to process the performed tasks. If your mind and body doesn't have the correct time to do that, it doesn't have the ability to store the information in the long-term memory because that process is overwritten by the input of new information. I hope I'm making sense with that wording, but all it basically says is don't overwork your ass or else you will become tired and unable to process new information because your brain is still busy with the previous input. Especially if you're doing new things over and over. Like one day you're studying hands, then the next day you're studying landscapes, and then the following day you're back to dynamic poses. It might work for some, but overall it's just an overload for your brain, and we have to take that into account. I already hear you say, but Laura, how am I supposed to study art then if I don't have the time to draw every day? I won't have enough time I spend with art and so lose my skills because I don't use them anymore. Hold on. There's something I can offer you. I call it consuming and observing with awareness. Or intention consumption, consuming with intention, whatever sounds best to you. But what does that mean? It simply means that you consume art or art-related content with the intention of learning something during it. It is literally the way how I personally was able to improve without doing studies. With all honesty, I did actual anatomy studies maybe twice in my life. The way how I studied anatomy and art was watching videos of people studying anatomy, looking at their sketches and final pieces, dissecting it into parts, observing what they do and what they keep in mind when drawing bodies. And because I consumed a lot of erotic media with the intent of observing how bodies function. Jokes aside, it's crazy how much you can learn about anatomy with erotic nudes. It's not even funny, like it really does make a difference. I never did a body study on paper myself, never, not a single time. I all learned it from observing others do stuff and thinking about the weirdest stuff in everyday life. Sometimes when I am outside and take a walk and see a certain color, I think about how I would mix it with my watercolor paints at home. If I see a person with super curly hair, I think about how I would portray that on paper. I like to analyze and think about color schemes I see outside, whether it's amongst flowers, people's fashion, or advertisements. How do they feel like? What are they supposed to represent? How are the colors complementing each other? You can learn so much by just observing your surroundings, because if you think about it, that's all you're doing if you also use references. You are observing an object to recreate its imagery with your art. Imagining how clothes, fur or leaves or whatever feels like and how it interacts with the body or the environment. Observe and study how the objects in your life interact with you. Look at yourself and watch how your hands behave or how the clothing on your skin falls and creates wrinkles. Analyze the movements of your hands and how the muscles feel and work together. If you open a bottle or write a text on a keyboard, there is so much stuff you can observe in everyday life that can contribute to the way you draw by simply learning and understanding how the simple things in life behave and work. The same goes for watching art-related content. The majority of us just have days from time to time where we come home from maybe work or school and just want to rest instead of doing art. And instead of doing art, we relax by watching videos about art. Maybe that's even the reason you clicked on this video. You yourself are too tired to do art, so you want to watch others do art because that still brings you joy. Because, well, art is just a passion of yours. The next time you're just wanting to watch art videos and feel bad afterwards because you yourself are not doing art and oh my god, you're not improving if you are just watching videos about art and your skills will decrease and then you will die. Next time you do that, watch those art videos with the intention. Analyze and watch closely to what the artist whose content you're enjoying is doing, how they choose colors, how they do their brush strokes, how they blend. Analyze and observe their techniques. Every video out there where an artist showcases their process can be used as a tutorial if you're smart about it. You just have to observe, learn, and internalize what you've learned during just sitting around and watching videos or looking at pictures with intention. You will remember what you observed the next time you put a pencil on paper. And you will be able to improve without busting your ass off during studies all day, every day. With the intention of learning through observation, you can learn more efficient while taking more care of yourself. The art of today is of my OC Robin and was actually made last year ago. I know it's a little bit crazy. I actually wanted to use this footage for another video topic, but I, as you can guess, kinda didn't really finish the script for that yet, and I didn't want the footage to age any longer, so here you have some old art of me that I still really like. I hope you enjoy it too. I also hope you could relax and or have some fun with this video. Hopefully I was able to give you new impulses to think about or not think about, whatever you prefer to do. If you liked this video, don't forget to tell me with a thumbs up or write a comment to share your thoughts. I'd be very interested. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. With that, I wish you an amazing day or night. Stay safe and stay hydrated.